Have you ever felt like you're not good enough? Like, no matter what you do, people don't respect you? What if I told you that confidence can change everything? Stay till the end of this video because this story will inspire you to believe in yourself. Once upon a time, in a busy town, there was a merchant who sold salt to support his family. He had 2 sons. One was confident and outgoing, while the other was shy and afraid to speak to others. The elder son was quiet and reserved. People thought he was foolish because he didn't talk much, and some even took advantage of his innocence. But he never complained. His father, the merchant, was often frustrated with him and scolded him for being timid. Over time, this only made the boy feel worse about himself. As he grew older, his fear affected his studies. During exams, he couldn't even write his answers properly because of nervousness. When he became a young man, his father asked him to help with the family business. He agreed, but his lack of confidence led to mistakes, which made his father even angrier. One day, while the merchant was away, some cunning men came to the shop and lied. They said, "Your father sent us to take all the salt sacks to the city." The young man hesitated, but was too afraid to question them. Before he could do anything, they took all the goods. When his father returned and saw the empty shop, he was furious. "You fool! You let them steal everything! You have caused me a huge loss! Get out of my sight and never come back!" he shouted. Heartbroken, the young man felt worthless. Everyone in town laughed at him. Overwhelmed with shame, he walked to the riverbank and thought, "There's no point in living anymore. I will always be a failure." He was about to jump into the river when a young disciple passing by saw him and pulled him back. "Why did you save me?" the young man asked angrily. "My life is useless. I can't do anything right." The disciple gently replied, "Life is given only once. If you are alive, you can still succeed. But if you give up, you will never know what you are truly capable of." Touched by his words, the young man shared his sorrows. "I am shy and weak. My father hates me. I have no education. People call me a fool. Do I even deserve to live?" The disciple smiled. "Come with me. My teacher can answer your questions." At first, the young man refused, but after much persuasion, he followed him to a great saint's ashram. There, under a large tree, sat a wise saint in deep meditation. The saint asked, "Why are you crying, my child?" The young man replied, "You are my last hope. If you cannot help me, I will end my life." The saint calmly said, "I have a solution for you. But before I tell you, you must follow my instructions for the next 3 days. If you complete my tasks, I promise your life will change." Desperate for hope, the young man agreed. On the first day, the saint said, "Go and talk to 10 strangers. Ask them about their lives and write down their answers." The young man hesitated but followed the saint's advice. Some people ignored him, while others were rude, but he kept trying. By evening, he had spoken to 10 people and even made a few new friends. He felt proud of himself and returned to the saint with his report. On the second day, the saint gave a new task. "Today, you must teach 10 young students about the importance of water." The young man was shocked. "I have no education. How can I teach?" The saint smiled. "Those children don't know that you feel uneducated. Just share whatever you already know." Nervously, the young man stood in front of the students. His hands trembled, but he started speaking. He explained 5 important uses of water and quickly ran away. When he returned, he said, "I was so scared, but I did it." The saint replied, "Try again." The next time, he spoke with more confidence. By the end of the lesson, he realized he was no longer afraid. The saint praised him. "See, you are braver than you think." On the third day, the saint gave the most difficult task. "Go back to your father and ask for his forgiveness." The young man was terrified. "No, he will never forgive me. I cannot face him." The saint firmly said, "If you refuse, I will not give you the final solution." Gathering all his courage, the young man returned home. He humbly apologized to his father, promising to prove himself. Seeing the change in his son, the merchant forgave him and gave him another chance in the business. When the young man returned to the saint and asked for the secret to success, the saint smiled and said, "You have already discovered it yourself. Your biggest enemy was not your shyness. It was your fear. People see you as you present yourself. Even if you feel weak, act confident, and no one will doubt you. True strength comes from believing in yourself." With tears of gratitude, the young man bowed before the saint. "I understand now. I will not let fear control my life anymore." Years later, that same young man became a respected businessman, known for his wisdom and confidence. Confidence is not something we are born with. It is something we build. Even the shyest person can become strong if they choose to believe in themselves. Our biggest limits exist only in our minds. Fear and self-doubt can hold us back, but courage and persistence can change everything. The young man thought he was destined to fail, but by facing his fears, he changed his life. Confidence grows when we step out of our comfort zones. The world sees us the way we choose to present ourselves. So believe in yourself. Take small steps forward, and you will find a strength you never knew you had. If this story inspired you, take a step toward confidence today. Like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear this.